My foot up, put my foot down, yeah, my hands up, my hands up, my hands up, flexing, flexing while my hands up, my hands up, my hands up. I stand up with my hands up, then I put up my hands up, I put up my hands up, I put up my hands up, then I'm spinning all my hands up, spinning, spinning while my hands up, spinning while my.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. So I just got a couple questions about leadership. So how would you define leadership?
I would define leadership as a person who can aid and support their peers, whether it's a coworker or a teammate, in the right direction.
Cool. All right. So can you name a good leader in your life?
I would have to say my uncle is a good leader in my life.
So why? Like, what qualities do you think make up a good leader?
Ever since I was younger, he would always, make sure he's leading by example, in everything he does, make sure I'm not following behind a bad role model.
So he kind of put you like on the right track.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. So then when you think of leadership, what is the first thing that really just comes to your mind?
Well, I would have to say like a captain or a manager. If you're a captain of a football team, you're leading all your players on your football team. If you're a manager, you're leading all your coworkers.
Right. Okay. So then what areas of life can you specifically be a leader? Is it through school or is it through football or?
I would say I can find myself leading in both of those aspects actually, as either a captain on a football team or, you get group projects sometimes and you lead your group. So you won't have a bad grade, that happens sometimes.
Hi Tony, how are you?
I'm doing good. How about yourself, Morgan?
Pretty good. Thanks so much for coming. So I just got a couple questions for you about leadership. So just first, how do you define leadership?
It's like a trait you have to help propel other people to another level, help bring their most, bring their potential out of them, their best potential.
Okay, that's great. Awesome. So do you have anybody in your life who's a good leader?
My granddad, he's gone, but when he was here, he was pretty good. He stayed on my dad's case, who stayed on my case, so.
Nice, awesome. So what qualities then make up a good leader, do you think?
Somebody who's well-spoken, someone who can bring other people with them, not just by themselves.
Right.
Someone who's willing to listen and not just hear. Let other people voice their opinions and actually let it mean something. Someone who can lead by example, not just by the words. And someone who, when they move with swift action.
Nice, I like it. Okay. So then, just a couple more questions. When you think of the word leadership, what is the first thing that comes to your mind?
The person who's willing to get in trouble for what they think compared to everybody else.
Okay. So then just one more question. In what areas of life can you personally just show leadership? Like in your schoolwork or the workplace, or maybe it's a sport or? Leadership,
I say, with my friends, I tend to journey onto my dreams and I want to show them that they can do it too. Just by stepping out like what I'm doing right now.
Okay. So how can you incorporate leadership into your comedy acts?
Shoot. And I'll have to, it wouldn't be in like the routine, it would more be like behind the scenes work, the hard work I put in, the time I spend studying my material, perfecting my craft when it comes to writing it, stuff like that.
So you definitely see yourself as a leader?
Some days, yes. When I'm being serious, yes.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming.
Thank
it's
you
been
for
a pleasure.
having me. Thank you.
All right.
I think leadership is, being able to lead people.
Right.
And being able to take charge when no one else will.
Nice. So would you say like giving back to your community is like being a good leader or no?
Oh, for sure. I've actually got some volunteer opportunities lined up.
As we can see through all the previous interviews, everybody has a different definition of what leadership is. So originally, before the class started, my view of leadership pretty much was just leading as you would want to be led. But through the course of the class, I learned that leadership has no specific definition, and it can be seen through community service, not just the workplace or not just your schoolwork or something like that.